Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure the notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. As you can see, we're in a bit of a different background today. My bedroom is in the middle of being kind of like mixed around. I'm sitting on my new bed at the moment, but I've got so much crap over this side of the room that I can't like film anywhere else. This is like the plainest background I could get, and my blinds are there. So yeah, bit of a different background today, but hopefully this will only be for this week, praying. And then I should have more of my white plain background. But yeah, this is the situation for this video. And for today's video, I have quite an exciting one because we are going to be testing a couple of new releases by Revolution. So we have two new palettes from them. This is the ROSÈ Fizz collection. They brought out an eyeshadow palette and they also brought out a highlighter palette. And we're going to be testing both of these today. I absolutely love the packaging of these. They're like a pink with like gold drips. They're absolutely stunning. So firstly, they have brought out a new eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love the Revolution chocolate bars. This is what it looks like. And they seem to have got really good in quality the more that they've done them. Now this palette, I'm not going to lie, is not kind of what I was expecting. I expected some more like pinks and stuff in here, considering the name is like ROSÈ Fizz, but it's more of a neutral eyeshadow palette. So if neutral palettes are your thing, then this could be a good one to pick up. So that's what the eyeshadow palette looks like. And they actually released a highlighter palette with this as well. This is the ROSÈ Fizz Glow highlighter palette. It's in exactly the same packaging as the eyeshadow palette, and in here, whoops, you get two shades. You get more of like a golden highlighter and more of a pinky rose shade. I'm probably going to use this one as a blush topper because that will be too dark for me as a highlighter. This might even be too dark for me as well, but we're gonna see. Firstly, let's dive into the highlighter palette. Now this costs £6, which is pretty standard. This is how much their palettes like this normally cost. And we're gonna put the highlighter on first. I'm gonna try this shade, hopefully it works for me, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't think it will. It looks to be quite a like a yellowy peach undertone. A little bit of kickback, and let's see if this is blinding. Okay, and this is the highlighter on, and it's definitely too dark for me. So if you have a fair skin tone, it's going to be dark for you as well. It does have like a rose gold effect. Like when I look forward, it looks like I've got like pink on my cheekbones. So it's got like a pink undertone but reflects gold. It's definitely a nice highlighter. It's not the most pigmented I've ever tried either. So I'm not the biggest fan of the highlighter just because it doesn't really suit fair skin. The cast is just like way too obvious. But now let's take this shade here, not on my highlight brush, on my blush brush. These are both peaches and cream, by the way. This is obviously a more shimmery product. It's not meant for blush, but I'm just using it for blush anyway. So let's give this a go. And this is the blush on. It definitely gives you a glow to the cheeks because obviously it is a highlighter, but it does look very beautiful. It's just that highlighter is throwing me off. Like, it's just making me look like I've got a huge like stark of pink. This palette would definitely be beautiful on like medium skin tones. I don't think this is meant for like fair skin tones, which is completely fair enough. So yeah, all I'd say is if you've got a similar skin tone to me, this probably won't suit you, but it is super pretty off of the lights, just not in real life. Okay, let's move on to the eyeshadow palette. So this is the ROSÈ Fizz palette, and as I said, a little bit disappointed with the colour story. I feel like they could have done so much more with this. Like, where's the pinks? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is just a neutral palette. They've got so many neutral palettes. Maybe incorporate some pinks or reds or golds in there. This just, yeah, looks like a brownie neutral palette. This costs £8.99, which is exactly the same as all their other chocolate bar palettes, so they are super affordable. And now we can get into using this palette, but firstly, let's jump into the swatches. And this is the entire palette swatched. Some of the mattes are hardly pressed, but the shimmers seem quite nicely pigmented in this palette. There's this gorgeous like foily shade and this one as well. There's a couple of grey tones in here, but the rest of them are more like brownie neutrals. Okay, so I've just primed my eyes using the Revolution Ultimate Eye Base, and now we can dive in to the tutorial. So obviously today's look's going to be another like neutral one, and I feel like I'm going to start off with this first one called Mimosa. This one here. That is Mimosa, right? Yeah. I had to second guess myself then. Okay, so this is the Mimosa shade on. It's actually much more pigmented than I expected it to be. And now I'm going to take this bottom shade here. I've got no idea what that says, so if you know what that says, let me know, because I literally have no idea. It's obviously a different language, but I've got no idea. Just a very pale tone, like skin tone shade. And I'm just going to use that to blend out the crease shade. There's actually quite a lot of shimmers in this palette. The only other mattes are like two cool tone like greys and then two more like dark browns. So I'm going to take this dark brown here, which is called Cheers. I'm not going to take like too much of it, but just enough to deepen up the crease a little bit, just to make it a little bit more browny rather than an orangey shade. And I'm just taking the blending brush again with a little bit more of that shade I used to blend it out, just to diffuse the edges a little bit. Okay, now we need a shade to deepen up the inner and outer corner, so I'm going to take the it's not the darkest shade, but it's the darkest brown. I think Magnum is going to be, that's Magnum. I think that's going to be too cool toned for this look, obviously going for the warm tone vibes. So I'm going to take this one here, which again, don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Sauvé? I've got no idea. And I'm going to take that on like a pointed brush, and I'm just going to place this on my inner and outer corners. Then I'm just going to use the brush I used for my crease and just buff the inner and outer corners in. Do you see how that transformed it straight away just by adding a bit of depth for the inner and outer corner? Okay, and now we need a shade for like the middle of our lid, and when I saw this shade swatch, I was like, okay, I need that in the middle of my lid. So I'm going to take this pink shimmer here, which is called Blush. By the way, totally forgot to mention, these are both cruelty-free and vegan, if you're wondering. As always, I'm going to take this dry just to see if it applies nicely or not. Okay, so this is the lid shade on, and now for my lower lash line, I'm going to take that dark brown again, this one down here that I used to deepen up my inner and outer corner, and I'm just going to put that all the way across. I did get a little bit of fallout with that shimmer shade, by the way. It had a bit of a dry formula, but it still applied really well, so just be a bit wary of that when you use this palette. Okay, and then for my inner corner and brow bone, I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Sparkling. Okay guys, so this is our completed eye look for today. I am going to go hop off camera, I'm going to put some mascara and some lipstick on, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I'm back, and this is my completed look. For my mascara, I used my Benefit, their Real Magnet Mascara. you need to go and watch this review. I absolutely love this mascara, but go and see it in action. I'll leave the video linked down below. This is the newest release by Benefit. And then for my lips, I actually used one of my Soph lipsticks. I haven't used one of these in ages. And I used the shade Syrup. I feel like it goes with this neutral eye really well. So this is my completed look. Obviously very everyday soft neutral. Please let me know down below what you think of the look, and of course what you think of the eyeshadow palette and the face palette. Let's sit down and talk about these palettes for a second and get our final thoughts together. Okay, so this highlighter palette unfortunately is a little bit too dark for my skin tone. I just feel like it would suit more light to medium skins a lot better. Having fair skin, you can see the like strip of pink undertone from that highlighter. So just be a bit wary of that. If you do have a similar skin tone to me, you can like definitely see the like cast on your skin. You might even be able to see that on camera, but it is like super obvious, even like in the light, that you can see where the highlighter is sitting. Other than that, it's absolutely beautiful. The formula of these are a little bit more on the drier side, so they require a couple of layers of building, but for £6 for two beautiful shades, you really can't go wrong. Plus the packaging is super cute. So if you have a little bit more of a darker skin tone than me, or you have a medium skin tone, this could be your new favourite like highlight palette, because the shades in here are absolutely stunning. Now for the eyeshadow palette, I'm not gonna lie, the colour story of this palette was a little bit disappointing when I first saw it. As I said earlier, I was expecting more like rosé shades in here, so like more soft pinks and stuff, but it is more of like a brownie base palette. There's also a couple of greys in here as well, so I don't really understand the colour story of this palette when it's called Rosé Fizz. Do you know what I mean? I obviously get the golds, and I love the gold shimmers in here. They're absolutely stunning. That's another thing to note. Shimmers in here are absolutely beautiful. I love the shimmers in this palette. They are really nice quality as well. I used it dry on my lid, and I mean, look how blinding they are. And my inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight is stunning as well. So the shimmers in here are so good. I absolutely love the formula of their new chocolate bar palettes, because they're honestly amazing. The mattes in here, all the ones I used work really well. They're really nice and pigmented. Even that first crease shade I used, really pigmented. Was super impressed. I kind of just don't understand the two grey shades in here. I feel like them ones are just a little bit random, unless you use them with like the sparkling shade or the Champers one up here. Again, I just feel like they don't fit the theme of this palette, but that is just personal opinion and just like personal preference, I guess. But this palette is really nice quality for how much you pay for it. It's only £9, so it's super affordable. If you are a chocolate bar collector like myself, great palette for your collection. Plus the packaging is just amazing. Like, let's be real, like this is beautiful packaging. I absolutely love it. If you are more of a soft neutral kind of person and you do love a quick easy palette to use just to throw a couple of shades on your lids, then again this could be a new favourite. It definitely does the job. I feel like I've got a really nice everyday look on at the moment. I honestly would like wear this out. Do you know what I mean? I would wear this out and about. I'd wear this to work if I wore makeup at work, which I don't. So yeah, I really like the palette. I like the quality of the palette. I just think the colour story of this lets it down for me. But that's honestly my only bad thing I can say. The shimmer had a little bit of fallout, but that's never like a bad thing to say. Just make sure you do your eye makeup for your base makeup and you're pretty much good to go. So that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below what you think of both of these palettes, and of course if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!